Welcome back to the Rugby Oaks. Today, we're talking all things Springboks Barbarians. It's the first time the Baabaas, that hallowed team, are going to be playing on South African soil. And today, George, what do you got for us?
Well, I thought we should come up with a team,
Okay.
a Bokke team. Are we allowed to call them Bokke?
Well, yeah, a Springbok team.
Springbok
Let's go.
team. That will be a bit of mix of youth experience, because it is the Baabaas. They throw it around a bit, and it's a good opportunity for Rassie and the boys to come up with a.
Yeah, look, we can see who has got the minerals maybe to play some test match rugby.
There we go. Because it is a fun testimonial. And the Barbers always have a laugh. I think they're on the piss most of the time.
Look, they're going to be in Cape Town, 28th of June. There's going to be beers flowing. The crowd, I'm sure, is going to be absolutely stacked as well.
It will be.
But let's go ahead and pick a team then.
Right. We'll start. I'll throw some names out, and we'll see from there. Again, these players will probably have to be South African based.
Yeah, let's make that a rule.
That's a rule.
South African based players, so URC based players. Of course, if there's a cheetah or something, we can maybe throw them in the mix. We're going for a mix of youth and experience. I think we've said. Put in the comments if there's someone that you disagree with or you think should be added or we haven't thought about. But let's go South African based.
South African based. Done. Right. So we'll start off with the proppies. Ox and Chair is definitely in the mix.
Yeah.
100%. And then the Bulls Ox or Os Durant.
Yeah.
Jan-Hendrik Wessels. How good is he?
He's so good, and obviously he has he's got a couple of caps. He's played at hooker and at number one for the Boks. I would put him as prop.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, look, let's not even put Ox in there. I wouldn't even play Ox. We love Ox, but we're not going to learn anything about how good Ox is playing against the Barbarians. What we will do, I think Jan-Hendrik Wessels he's on that cusp of being a starting Bok player, albeit there's maybe slightly better players ahead of him, but he's good enough to start. So let's throw him in the mix. What are we going to learn from Ox? Nothing. He's the best.
He's going to just tell you that sellers don't win scrums, which they don't.
They don't.
And he's the best scrummager in the world. But I agree with you. Give Jan-Hendrik a go.
Okay.
And he smashed it. So that's okay. That's our Lucy done.
That's pretty easy. We didn't have too much debate. There's anyone you think should replace him? Of course, we're not necessarily picking the best Springbok team here. We're picking a team that will be young, exciting, and ready to go.
And take on the Baabaas.
So,
hooker, again, off the same sort of logic. No point talking about Bongi. We love Bongi. But let's talk about Grobler from the Bulls.
Yeah.
He's been a Bok. Fairs from the Sharks, Fairs Mabata.
Yeah. Who's been part of the Boks setup back in 2021 with that Lions tour. He was in the setup. He didn't get a test.
True. Very true. And then another single cap Bok, maybe, Andre Hufente from the Stormers.
I love Andre Hufente. He's an absolute china as well. He's an absolute chap. Loves a little drinky poos after the game.
There we go.
Always says hello to the guys. Absolute legend. So I'm going to be a bit biased here. Okay. I'm going to say Andre Hufente would probably be on the bench for me.
Okay.
But let's go with the Bulls number 2. What do you think?
Grobler. We'll go. So that's number 1 and number 2 on our Bulls. We've got some cohesion there.
We also forgot, it could also be Aka van der Merwe.
Ooh.
We've forgotten about a couple of Boks caps.
He's had a few. He's playing well as well.
But do you look at him and go,
he's done?
Are we going to develop him for the next World Cup?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Whereas we need to, because we've got Malcolm Marks and Bongi Mbonambi. No offense, guys, but aging Springboks.
Yeah.
So we've got to look to their future. So
let's go Grobler.
Grobler, done.
Yeah.
Beautiful. On to the next big, heavy hitter. Another Bull, Wilco Low. Again, someone who's had a number of Bok caps. Also, Bull, solid, biggest legs in the business, tree trunks. You can look at one of my favorite props, Jan Forshire, for the Stormers. Unfortunate red card has set him on the sidelines for a while, but
I think that's an interesting one because we talked at the beginning. We said we want to have players that we want to develop as Boks, and that's what we're going to be selecting. But I think Wilco Low, look, what is he, 20 cap Springbok?
Yeah,
something like that. He's been around for a long time. But you also need that spine of people who are going to just make sure the team is running correctly. He's got a bit of experience. We can do with seeing more of him as well, getting him more comfortable in a Boks shirt. So I'd go Wilco all day.
We've also forgotten
and he could start a test.
He could
start a test.
Without a doubt, he very easily could start a test. We've also forgotten probably the biggest prop in South Africa, Asenati and Klabakanye.
Oh, thank God you said it, not me. But
it's a tough one to say, but What a man mountain.
I'd love to see some of those Aussies or Kiwis say it in the super in
Sonati, they'll butcher it.
They'll butcher
We're not
it.
butchering it. He is a big unit. He can scrum well, takes crash ball very well, and he puts in some hits.
And he plays for the Lions, who throw the ball around, so he wouldn't be out of. Let's keep him for later for maybe a bench.
Okay. So
remember, he's uncapped.
He is uncapped.
So we still need to win the game. We want to put on a show.
True.
So Wilco low.
Okay, so we've got an all Bulls front row.
Have we got an all Bulls
all
front row?
Bulls front row?
Oh, sis. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If you're a Bulls fan, like, follow, subscribe.
There's definitely going to be more Bullers. So, but anyway, this just shows how unbiased we are because everyone
completely unbiased. Completely unbiased.
So all Bulls front row, great.
It's a lovely front row. It's a really good front row.
Then onto our locks, we've got a number of options.
We have to choose all Stormers now.
All Stormers now. No, unfortunately, we can't talk about Urban. Well, we will have to wait and see. But Urban took a knock to the knee. But we'll then focus on some other. Because again, like you said,
we don't need
what are we going to learn about
Urban?
Fine. Kobus Visser for the Bulls.
He's a good choice.
Good
Who
choice.
else we got?
Salman Murat at 4.
Could he captain the team as well?
Potentially, he's captain before. Yeah. I know some people throw shade his way. I was in Cape Town and watched him play against Connacht, and he put in some hits.
When he puts in a good shift, he puts in a good shift. The problem is he's had a bit of glass bones.
Injuries, man.
And I think people, they love to hate him for some reason, and that's the cards that were dealt his way. But if he can put in some more just like brutal performances, which is when you get confident on those knees and those injuries you've had, you can do. And that's what he is. He's a hard man.
He's a very hard man. So I think we go with Salman, and he could potentially captain it. Potentially. Or are you thinking Kobus?
I like the idea of bringing Kobus Visser into the Bok fold.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Kobus. I know he's another bull.
Another bloody bull, man.
He's another bull. I'm going to say Kobus because I think that guy needs game time because he could potentially be a starter or off the bench in the Rugby Championship. Some of the other Oaks, maybe Grobler or something like that, might be a bench player or like bit-part player. But Visser has, in my opinion, the ability to be a starter in a proper test match in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
So give the guy a cap.
Fine. I'm listening to him. South Africa, I promise you we're going to choose someone else from like the Stormers, Lions, and the Sharks. I can picture the scenes in Durban now. Anyway, so then 5 lock, Ruan Nakia, another bull, or Ruben van Heerden.
I'm going Ruben van Heerden.
There's it.
Nakia is a hell of a player. He's proven himself as well. Yep. And look, another cap or another opportunity would be good for him as well. We know he's been playing on the side of the scrum recently as well, so maybe have him off the bench, a bit of versatility. Talk about that later. But Ruben van Heerden is the most underrated lock, 5 lock in South Africa. I think I very rarely see him have a bad game. He's a properly hard man. He's strong. He's good in the scrums. He's good in the lineouts. He runs the lineouts for the Stormers. I think he's someone that maybe, look, South Africa are blessed with locks.
Yeah.
But it only takes 2 or 3 injuries for us to be panicking.
Yeah.
And there's no problem with a guy like that he's an archetypal Bok to get him in the mix.
Done deal. We've got a Stormer, folks. Well, we've got a non-bull. There we go. Sticking to, Stormers, 6, Paul de Villiers. Oh, how good has he been? I know.
Paul de Villiers has been great. He's still up and coming. He's still young, but he's captained the junior box. He's clearly in that kind of the process of bringing him into the Bok fold. He's like a little Branners that's coming through.
Just a single Branners.
He's like a little Branners. No, I meant Branners the player. Dion Fourie.
He's just 2 fingers, not the 4 fingers. Hey.
Oh, there we go.
He's great. He's a great player.
He's one to watch, and I would like to see him in the mix. Who else we got though?
There's Marcel Coetzee. He's had a number of caps.
Is he going to be there for the next World Cup? No. Should he? Does he deserve a cap? Yes. But he's not the development player we need.
Fine. So I think we go Paul de Villiers here.
There must be someone else we can talk about as well.
Well, we can talk about, there's other back rowers we can talk about. There's
Let's
the
throw
Chichuka
Paul
brothers.
Villiers, see what he can do.
We'll put all of them out. So there's the Chichuka brothers from the Sharks. We've got, obviously, and if we're thinking of 8 as well, because these guys can all move around. You've obviously got Sia. You've got Cameron Anakom, Evan Roos, Marco van Staden.
Yeah.
There's probably more that we can talk about, but that's
how about this?
That's a lot.
I think we should play Sia at 8.
Okay.
Because remember, you can't just put a bunch of rookies out there. We need to win the game. We need to have so Sia at 8 because we're going to want to maybe play him at 8
sometime
in a test match. So let's see what he does. Play him for 50 minutes, 40 minutes. Who cares? he can captain the team. That
Okay.
solves that problem. Okay.
Fine.
Then what about like Cami Hanekom at 7?
Ooh.
He plays a bit of 7 from time to time.
Does.
And De Villiers
At 6.
at 6.
It'd
be quite fun.
I think
it'd be fun to watch.
Should we lock that in? Can we lock that in
Let's
then?
lock it
so there
in.
we go. We've got a Shark, a Bull, and a Storm.
Well, that's our forwards, guys.
That's our forwards.
Tell us what you disagree with. I'm sure. Look, there's plenty of debate, and this isn't about attacking anyone who should be there, who shouldn't be there.
Fun.
But this is about choosing an exciting team.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be really cool.
There we go. Fine. Okay, so then we'll move on to the back line. So 9, we've got the usual suspects of Hendrickse and Grant Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Paul de Vet at the Stormers.
Yeah.
Moving to the bloody Bulls.
We've got Ambrose Papier at the Bulls, who's been playing fantastically.
Very good rugby. Morne van den Berg from the Lions.
Yeah.
Who else can we even... Hershey Janchis, but he's moving...
So for me,
there's too many.
There's 3 options.
Okay.
Because it's a Baabaas test, there's 3 options. The best player possible is Grant Williams for that kind of rugby.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's probably got less than 15 caps.
Mm-hmm.
Giving him another cap is great. Okay. So he would be my first choice. Then I've got Van den Berg will be exciting to have because we need to see more of him. He needs to settle into that position. They obviously think very highly of him.
Yeah.
There. But then I'd love to see Ambrose Papier.
I was about to say.
Out of the fire. Like he's been in the wilderness for 6 or 7 years. What was it, 2018 that he got his caps?
Yeah, something like that.
He looked as if he had, enough going on. The last 2 years, he's really taken that every opportunity he's got. But in this situation, and because of the situation we've got with Bok number 9s, where we have so many of them, Grant Williams.
Grant Williams starts, and then we've got Ambrose.
He's not going to get all the opportunities this year, so you need to give him an opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, so Grant Williams
maybe
starts.
throw Ambrose on the bench.
100%. There we go. Ambrose is back, baby.
He's back.
Okay, now 10. I almost want to say there's no debate, but there's a couple. There's Sasha Van Ngomazulu, Jordan Hendrickse, Mani Libok, who's just come back from injury.
Sia
Masuku.
Who's the 10 for Lions? Is this youngster
Volta.
now? No. There's this youngster now.
There's another youngster.
It's probably not a good idea. But I think you've got Jaden Hendrickse or Sasha Van Ngomazulu. If I was to rank them as most able to start a Bok tense against New Zealand tomorrow, it would be Sasha would be that one. So maybe we play Jordan Hendrickse because he needs more time in the shirt.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I get
because
that.
he's still going to be a great... I mean, he'll be a
he
fun
can play
player to
fullback.
watch. He can throw the ball around a bit.
He could go to... Anyway, we'll get... Because we know what Sasha is the future.
He's the present, my friend.
Well, you know what I mean?
Present from God.
He's the...
for the Stormers.
But he's the now and the future. He is...
But is he the kind of guy who the question is he the kind of guy who needs a cap against the Baabaas to make him settle into the team? I don't think he is. Whereas I think Jordan Hendrickse, a non-pressured test match, he can express himself, open running rugby, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah,
Let's throw him in at 10.
Throw him in, Jordan then. All right, who would you choose, folks? Tell us.
He plays with Grant Williams, so that'll be great.
There we go. They got that combo together. They've got the chemistry. Right, now, wingers. I'll just name all the wingers and we'll choose 11 and 14. We've got Suleiman Hartzenberg. We've got Makazole Mapimpi, Edward van der Merwe, moving to the Sharks as well. Where's all this money come from? We've got Kanan Moody, who's putting in hits and playing bloody well. Gotten thicker. Ethan Hooker. Flipping, playing so well. Defensive. The guy's a try-saving machine. I don't know what else we can talk about. But let's say that number of...
I'd love to see Edward van der Merwe back in the mix. I think he'd be perfect. I think that's nailed on.
Done.
Right, so who's the other winger we've got? Ethan Hooker, I think, is a great choice, and I think Kanan Moody is a great choice. Who do we think needs the time?
Kanan Moody.
You think?
I think Kanan Moody needs. He's not played so long. I think Ethan Hooker's definitely going to get.
And then you maybe give him a cap against Georgia or something like that.
Because this doesn't count as a Bok cap.
No, sure, but it gives you that.
Yeah, gets you back because Kanan Moody was.
You're playing for the South Africa cap or not? You're representing your country.
100%. But Kanan Moody hit the scene amazingly. I think he got maybe 7-8 caps. And then he got injured and he's been out for a while. He's come back.
Playing 13
he mixes it up. I think some people want to see him at 13 rather. So what do you think? You want him at 13? I think he's great on the wing.
Let's throw him at 14. So we've got 14. Edward 11, him at 14. Good under the high ball.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to watch.
It'll be fun to watch. Ethan Hooker maybe on the bench.
Yeah.
Or Suleiman Atabek, I don't know. But we're not talking bench, talking this. We're throwing it around. So we've got them there. Centres. I'm going to throw all the names out now again. We've got Andre Esterhazen, big lad. We have got Lukhanyo we have got Jesse Krill, David Krill, not Jesse Krill. Jerenzo, Julius.
Yeah.
Henker van Wyk from the Lions.
Yeah.
I don't know who else we can talk about. Damien Willemse.
Yeah, you've got the kind of Stormers guys. Pull in Dan du Plessis.
There's too many to choose from.
There's a lot, but I think I would go in the mind of like we need to get people into the saddle. I think I would play Andre Esterhazen.
Yeah,
because that's another veteran. Even though he doesn't have a lot of caps, he's a veteran for the Bok team. That cool head at 12. Well, sometimes cool head, but he is a hell of a player. He needs more opportunities because then he could go through the next 8 months of the Boks season and get 2 caps.
Yeah.
So to have someone that adds that, just gives him time, a little bit of opportunity to impress. I think it'll be a good thing, and then obviously the experience in the back line as well.
Great.
13's an interesting one.
Whew.
I would play, if it was me, I'd say Jerenzo Julius. Let's just see what he can do. He's so exciting to watch.
He's bloody exciting. I mean, he's slippery. He's quick. He'll trick
He's a
you.
nuggety player. He's like, he reminds me of like a running back in the NFL.
Yeah.
Where he like dodges, weaves, and then he just puts on the gas and just curves around. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But we need to see if it can translate.
Let's see if it can. He's had the green and gold on before for the junior Boks. But David Krill. Been playing so well.
David Krill deserves
the match
it,
winning.
He?
I mean, he wouldn't potentially be kicking in this game, but gives you options. But he's been playing very well, and he's been knocking on the door for a while. I know
he deserves it.
We're very lucky with our centres, as we are with wings. We're very lucky in general at the moment. We've got a pool of talent, but it is tough because I'd love to see Jerenzo there, but I think David Krill has a go. He's never. The thing is, I get Jerenzo plays with Esterhazen now.
Who cares? It's Baabaas. Let's
see
what. So let's go David Krill. We'll put Jerenzo on the bench
because he can cover wing as well.
Yeah.
So I feel for Henker van Wyk because he's knocking as well, but David Krill's been knocking for longer, I think.
The thing about David Krill is he covers multiple positions, but he's also a kicker.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we can get him to international standard, he'll be almost like a kind of Geordie Barrett type. Maybe not in the same way he plays, but what he brings
to the
team where he can play 12, maybe 13, maybe definitely wing. Yeah. He can kick when he needs to kick. He's got a boot on him.
Yeah. This team's looking good. Right, last position, fullback. We've got Damien Willemse, Apelele Fassi, Warwick Galant. Who else have we got there? Those are my main.
Well, I've only got one. It's Warwick Galant. I think he plays so unbelievably well. He doesn't get the credit for it. When the Stormers are clicking, it's because he is making it click.
It does that.
And for so long, I think
he tricks
so
you.
long, we've had all these injuries to Damien Willemse, Sasha, Marnie, all the rest of it. And he's been the only guy who's bringing the magic. And he's been fantastic. And he's had his chances at the Boks, and he's kind of never gripped it and taken it. Maybe, again, non-pressure situation. Get him a try, get him feeling good. And it's that he's a confidence player. I think he's the only person, to me.
Because we know, well, to be fair, Apelele Fassi.
Quaid Horn.
Quan Horn as well. But Apelele Fassi and Damien Willemse are.
Fassi's your nailed on starter. Willemse, if he's not at 10, 12, or, he's in the mix. So you don't need that.
So we give Galant a go again. Yeah. Warwick, that's our.
I think you'll learn the most by playing Galant.
Yeah.
Out of that.
That's quite a lekker team there. Let us know what you think.
Chuck in the comments where we got it wrong. Chuck in the comments who you think. List your whole team.
Yeah.
If you don't like what we've put out there. Either way, we tried out a bit of fun with it. Youth, a little bit of experience. Sia's even at 8, even old man Sia. We'll have someone on the bench to help him. Maybe Kaim Hanekom will swap over to 8 after a while. But guys, if you're looking forward to the Boks this year, we're going to be running weekly shows with reviews of the games, with predictions, with a lot of fun, a lot of games. Chuck that subscribe in. We'll see you later and catch you soon.